Hey everyone, we're going to get started in just about another minute or so. Just going to wait for people to finish kind of trickling in. I know that it's hard to install the program and get everything ready on time, so we'll just let some people get in. All right, so hi everyone. My name's Chris. I work for the SchoolFinder group, and welcome to this month's SchoolFinder group webinar called Finding Scholarships. Today, it's brought to you by our sponsor, Algoma University, located in Northern Ontario in the city of Sault Ste. Marie. Today, we'll be discussing the process of finding scholarships and how you can maximize them. I'm joined by Tyndale University College and Seminary, the University of East London, as well as Lakehead University to help discuss the subject. We'll hear from each of them, and at the end of the webinar, there will be a short Q&A session. You can ask questions throughout the webinar using the Questions tab in the GoToWebinar application. If the question is directed to a specific school, just be sure to include that detail so that I can forward it along to them. We'll start with Lakehead University. We're joined by Josh, the manager of Student Awards and Financial Aid. Take it away, Josh.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. So as Chris mentioned, my name is Josh. I'm from Lakehead University. I'm the manager of Student Awards and Financial Aid. If you don't know where Lakehead University is, it's up in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, or we have a secondary campus down in Aurelia. We actually just opened some programs up in Barrie as well, too, so we're kind of getting a little, we're around. But today I'm going to kind of speak about financing your education specifically and kind of seeing what we have available at Lakehead that can potentially help you to find scholarships and bursaries for that matter to help finance your education. So you can go ahead and flip the slide there, Chris, please. So at Lakehead, we really have an unconventional and exceptional entrance scholarship grid, and I really honestly believe that, and I will stick to that. We provide entrance scholarships to any Canadian student, so any student that is studying in Canada and graduating from a Canadian high school, this scholarship grid. So these scholarships are based on your top 12 or top 6 grade 12 URM marks, and really we guarantee at least $750 renewable scholarship for an 80%. And you can see that increments higher and higher and higher to, if you have a 95% and over, we will guarantee free tuition for up to 4 years. And these scholarships are unlimited and renewable. So it's a really great way of helping to finance your education at Lakehead. Now with that too, we do also have an international entrance scholarship as well too. So if you're studying abroad, so you're coming from a different country entirely, say the US, we do have an international scholarship that is available as well. I don't have the information here, but it is also very lucrative in that we offer at least a minimum of $4,000 for a 75% entrance average or above. So that's $4,000 one-time payment, or 80% and above, we would offer $5,000 renewable, and 90% and above, we would offer a $7,500 renewable entrance scholarship. So it's really, really great way and to help finance your education, to help find money. And the great thing about these is as soon as you apply to Lakehead, you're automatically considered. That's the only application that you need to do, is to apply to Lakehead. So go ahead, Chris. So at Lakehead too, we also have other opportunities, and I like to point these out: scholarships and bursaries, and I'll be speaking bursaries on the next slide, but scholarships specifically. So if you're within a specific region, we have these entrance scholarships that are available to you, specifically the Northwestern Ontario and Simcoe County Citizen Scholarship or the Presidential Scholarship. These are two very lucrative scholarships in my opinion. We offer $3,000 for the Northwestern Ontario Simcoe County, or for the Presidential Scholarship, we offer a $7,500 renewable entrance scholarship. These are great opportunities to help finance your education, to find funds to finance your education. These both do require applications, and you can find the applications on our website at www.lakeheadu.ca. So I encourage you to check it out, and then just ask Lakehead where to find them, and it's as easy as that. And if we flip the next slide, we're going to speak about the bursaries, because I was a student at one point and I understand the concept of need. We have a general entrance bursary for students that are coming directly from high school or transfer or mature students. So these bursaries are available to you through your MyInfo. So as soon as you apply to Lakehead University, you get what's called a MyInfo account, and this allows you access to potentially receive up to $1,500 for a general entrance bursary. I strongly encourage everybody to apply. Bursaries are based on financial need, so you need to demonstrate a little bit of need in order to receive these funds, but we don't like holding on to our money at Lakehead. We like to get rid of it, so I strongly encourage everybody to apply. The other thing that I will mention too is if you're an athletically gifted student, consider our athletic scholarships. We've got some great opportunities here in Thunder Bay as well as in Aurelia, and they're just great opportunities. You can receive up to a maximum of $4,000, and that could potentially be renewable. I strongly encourage you to speak with our coaches if you are considering any of that. So with that, my presentation is done. I really thank you, and I look forward to discussing with people a little bit further. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Josh. That free tuition is that's a really awesome scholarship.
Yeah.
Now we'll move.
Sorry. It's one that we're really happy about.
Yeah, that's really cool. So now we'll move across the pond to UEL, the University of East London, and hear from Safna, the International Recruitment Officer at UEL.
Thanks, Chris. Could we go to the first slide? Hi, everyone. So, you know, when someone thinks of doing a degree abroad, especially from Canada or the States, the first thing that crosses their mind is it's going to be too expensive. And that's just not the case at UEL. And I'm going to talk you through all the different funding methods and scholarships that we have that make it easy for you to study abroad, and actually, in a way, also save a bit of money. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. So these are the 5 scholarships that we offer that are Canada specific. So, you know, that's a small pool already, so your chances of getting any one of these scholarships is incredibly high compared to any other international or home student. Now let me talk you through some of the scholarships we have. So civic engagement, that's one of our most popular scholarship, and actually I would say a good percentage of our North American students that come in do actually receive the civic engagement. And that one's up to about $6,500 Canadian dollars roughly, depending on the currency exchange rate at the time. And all you have to do for this scholarship to qualify is 40 hours of volunteer work. Now, this is our initiative to give back to the community and to encourage students to also give back to the community, and in return they receive the scholarship. Now, this is a great idea because our university is highly engaged within the community, and we're actually known for having one of the biggest civic engagement movements as an institution. And similarly, our other scholarships also reflect a similar sentiment. Each of them have their own purpose that, you know, really work to support a student and, you know, just helping them become a bit more well-rounded. So the second one is the academic merit scholarship, sorry. And for that, you need I would say on a US GPA scale, it's about a 3.0 minimum to qualify. Now I know for Canada there's lots of different grading scales, so you can of course email me at sapna@uel.ac.uk or americas@uel.ac.uk to find out if you qualify. But this is again $6,500 Canadian, and yeah, you just need to meet your academic grades. And there is a similar one that you can actually get in the second year. So these are all first-year scholarships, but there are a couple that you can also get in the second year, and one of them is the Academic Excellence Scholarship. Now that one is one that carries forward to the second or third year, where you can receive about 1,600 Canadian dollars in your third year of study if you achieve a first in the second year. Now first is the highest grade you can get overall in the year, and this is our way of encouraging you to, keep up that academic performance as meanwhile, enjoying your international experience. Now there is the Elite Sports Scholarship, which is probably one of our more lucrative scholarships. That's around 13,000 Canadian dollars up to. So if any of you are athletes and you compete at high school level or college level, then for undergrad or postgrad programs, you would be eligible for this. Now you just need to send in a video of you, competing or something like that. It's a very simple application, and honestly, when tuition for Canadians is about 17,000 Canadian dollars, so that's a substantial amount of scholarship. And then there is the placement scholarship, which is 1,600 Canadian dollars. And this is, again, our way of encouraging you to pursue some work experience in the industry of your choice. So this is something you would probably work towards over the summer between your years of study at UEL. And all you have to do is do a 3-month internship successfully within a relevant industry to your program, and you would qualify for this. Now, just going back to the Elite Sports Scholarship, so if any of you are athletes, I would highly encourage you to go for this because it's so lucrative. But again, also, our university is known for having a really great athletics program. We were actually host to Team USA for the Olympics, and all of our facilities are Olympic standards. So not only are you getting a great scholarship, but you get to compete and get your education at the same time. And that's something that you can really, carry forward when you go back to Canada, and it looks amazing on your CV. Could I have the next slide, please? And so you can also, aside from the scholarships, I just quickly wanted to touch on the student loans. Now, I know a lot of Canadians do get student loans to fund their degrees, and this is something you can most certainly carry forward. And we do have a student loans officer who is North American specific, and they do work with loans like OSAP and other provincial specific loans, and they absolutely do transfer over. And then that's the same with the military veterans benefits. So if any of you are veterans, then those benefits will carry forward, and you can completely get them to fund your degree in the UK. All you have to do is just contact us, and we have to approve the program and validate it, and that it's as simple as that. Could I have the next slide? And so just to go through the kind of costs that you'd be looking at really quickly. So now imagine you have your scholarship and you're thinking about the rest of the costs, and you might be wondering, yes, it's still too expensive, I imagine, but actually, so University of East London specifically has some of the most affordable housing. Now I know comparatively to Canada, it's shockingly low compared to a lot of Canadian institutions, where I think housing is around 16,000 Canadian dollars. It can be around that much. I've seen quite a few universities have housing that costs that much. And at University of East London, it's $9,000 for your own room and your own bathroom. And they're very, very modern facilities. So you really are getting bang for your buck, and you're already saving thousands of dollars each year on housing alone. And then books are free as well. We give all of our students Samsung tablets with books loaded on electronically, and every semester you just go to the hub and you get your books for that semester loaded on, and that's for all 3 years. And now our degrees are 3 years long, so you are also saving a year's worth of tuition, housing, books, all of that. And of course, you get the free airport pickup, the orientation, the sightseeing around London, and there is a campus bus that runs between campuses. And then healthcare, it's just £450 for a one-off payment, which is really not that bad compared to if you were thinking about going abroad to, say, the States, where you would obviously have to pay a lot more for healthcare. So it's a really, really great affordable option if you are thinking about going abroad, or if you are thinking about being cost-effective and time-effective. But thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, you want to read about these scholarships in a little bit more detail, please do visit our website and do go to the International Canada page. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Sapna. That was a lot of really good information. I know studying abroad is a bit of an intimidating thing for a lot of students. I think you really touched on it with that. A lot of people think it is expensive, but they don't really look into the fact that a lot of schools actually offer pretty big scholarships for international students. So it's a good thing to look into.
Yes, and they're very competitive, and actually most of our students do end up getting some type of scholarship, so I would most certainly apply at least. And you don't even have to apply to the school before you apply for a scholarship, so I would most certainly put in an application for at least a scholarship.
Oh, that's really good then.
Thank you.
All right, so now we'll move on to Tyndale. I'm joined by Brian, the coordinator of student financial resources at Tyndale.
Hi everyone. So my name is Brian. I am, as he mentioned, the coordinator of student financial resources at Tyndale U. And my presentation is going to be talking about financing education. And I can understand it can be a very stressful part when applying for university. There are hundreds of resources out there to help students. And you've probably found some scholarships out there, some bursaries, some grants, some loans. But you're asking yourself, what do I actually apply for? Do I even qualify for these? And very likely you might get a little overwhelmed, and your emotions can go up and down just like a roller coaster, or actually like there's a graph here. But as time goes along, you ask more questions, you do more research, you log into scholarship webinars like this, and you gain knowledge and a better understanding of what's out there and what works for you. And that's why we, as financial aid advisors, are here to work through this process with you. So if we can get to the next slide, please. Our main goal is to help you bridge the gap. That gap is between what you already have, which is your available resources, and what you want, which is to pay for university. And here are some of the ways we can help you bridge the gap. So the first thing is summer work. In the summertime, it's a great opportunity to learn how to live on a tight budget. You set yourself a goal for yourself, and then that goal can be how much you can save and for that summer, and then you can decide what kind of summer activities you plan for that summer. And the main thing is it's not about how much you make in the summer, but how much you're able to save in the summer, which will go towards what you want. Another great source of funding is school-based awards. And so talk to your individual schools, in the schools that you're interested in, about the awards that they have. Award programs will vary from school to school, and there are scholarships which are mostly based on grades or community involvement. And the important thing is to note here is that your high school counts, meaning you could be making money from school just by studying for exams. For instance, at Tyndale U, we offer a $5,000 scholarship per year if you enter with a 90% average. So that's a 3.9 GPA. And don't forget to apply for bursaries as well, which is a way for schools to financially help students coming from low-income situations. For example, Tyndale has some bursaries available that you can apply for, ranging from $500 to $5,000 to help students depending on your situation. Another thing you want to look at, especially within schools, is look for their unique scholarships that they have, and look for those that you can apply for. Like at Tyndale, we have something called the Church Match Program. So if you had a church who was to give you a financial gift towards your education, Tyndale would match that gift for up to $2,000 in financial aid. So definitely look at just unique scholarships that schools have. The next one would be outside awards, and this is a large category. So websites like ScholarshipsCanada, which list over 80,000 scholarships and bursaries, can help you match you with awards that are relevant to you. So when it comes to applying for scholarships, I can give you a couple tips. So number one, make sure that you apply. If you're from Canada, you probably are familiar with hockey and you might be familiar with the great one, Wayne Gretzky. And he once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And so my tip to you is you miss 100% of the scholarships you don't apply for. So apply. My second tip is to apply early. The sooner you start your search, the more scholarships you will find. Many students wait till spring to apply and then miss half the deadlines. So don't miss out on applying for scholarships. And my third and final tip is apply often. The more scholarships you apply for, the better your chances are. Sometimes winning scholarships involves a bit of luck, especially when the choice has to be made between a few excellent candidates. And then once you complete a few scholarships, you get into a habit and a rhythm, and it becomes a lot easier to write more applications. So the next resource is family. What your family is able to contribute, like things like an education savings plan, can also help you bridge that gap. And the final thing is government student aid. So things like OSAP or any of the provincial government aid programs is a good way to help finance your school. And depending on your family situation, you could be eligible to receive a mix of grants and loans to help fund your tuition and living expenses. So if we can go to the next slide. I just want to end off with this, telling you about Janie's story. Janie is a recent graduate at Tyndale U, and like many students, Janie was worried about financing her education. Our Tyndale U staff helped her come up with a personalized plan to pay for her studies at Tyndale. She was able to use her educational savings plan, scholarships, part-time work, and then also government loans to fully fund her education. And so this is Janie's story, and so you can see it's a pie chart. But each person's story or pie chart is going to look a lot different. Some of you might get more scholarships, more loans, more grants. Some of you have saved a lot from working in the summer. And at Tyndale U, this is what we do. We want to help you bridge that gap. We'll build a plan together with you so that you can focus on studies instead of your finances. So what I want to leave with you is this. What's your story? How are you going to get what you want? And how can we help you bridge the gap? So if you want to find out more information about Tyndale and their financial aid, you can visit our website, tyndaleu.ca/financial aid, or you can email me at financialaid@tyndale.ca. Thanks for your time.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Brian. So now we'll touch on some of the different ways that you can find scholarships and apply using Scholarships Canada. So I'll be taking over from here. So on Scholarships Canada, we have over 85,000 scholarships totaling over $193 million. That means no matter who you are, there's definitely a scholarship available for you. But the big question is, why sign up for ScholarshipsCanada.com? Well, besides the 85,000 scholarships you could possibly apply to, we have a community of over 1 million people we're constantly matching scholarships, programs, and schools to, including over 100 post-secondary institutions we work with on a daily basis. But what does that all mean? How are scholarships connected to higher education exactly? First of all, it's important to know what your time is going into and seeing that it's worth it to earn a post-secondary education. According to Stats Canada, on average, employees with a post-secondary degree earn more than high school graduates without one. The higher the education, the higher the average income, or annual income, sorry. But with the higher education, the higher the price as well. The average university student pays between $20,000 and $25,000 per year. This includes stuff like tuition, rent, food, your cell phone bills, social events and entertainment, as well as all your textbooks. And how will you pay for all this? With that question, everybody's kind of different, which is unfortunate. There's no one answer. But the big four are your personal savings or working during the school year or a combination of both, so funding yourself, family and parents, loans, which include stuff like OSAP and other provincial student loan organizations, as well as banks. And the reason why we're all here, scholarships and bursaries. When applying for scholarships, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is ignoring the smaller scholarships. But by applying to a lot of them, you can end up with a few $1,000s extra to add to paying for school. So the prospect of $1,000 may seem small, considering I just said that a 4-year university degree can cost between $80,000 and $100,000. It can have a big, big impact on your school year. It can cover your entire year of textbooks, your metro passes to get to and from school for a year, your annual cell phone bill, or a semester of your entertainment bills, which is stuff like going out for dinner with your friends, going to the bar, seeing movies, stuff like that. Passing up scholarships because they're smaller isn't the only thing you can do wrong when finding scholarships. There are many myths about scholarships that you may have already fallen victim to believing, but if that's the case, don't worry. The first common myth is, I don't have the marks to get scholarships. Well, the good news is that 86% of our scholarships on ScholarshipsCanada.com do not require an academic average. No matter your marks, you'll be able to apply to all of them even if you do not have high grades. The second myth is that there's a lot of competition out there. Well, 3% of scholarships annually do not receive any applications at all, and 59% of all scholarship administrators would like to see more applications for their scholarships, which means they're giving it to people who might not be as well suited, or they're just wishing that they had more interest in it. As well as that, many scholarships, which is more than the 3%, they actually go unclaimed each year, so they might not find the right candidate for it. I believe the last time I checked, the number was around 10%, which is a hefty amount of scholarships to just not be claimed. The third myth is that only schools give scholarships. Many students do not go outside of the school they're applying to find scholarships, which can really narrow down how many you're applying to. But in reality, we have over 10,000 scholarships from non-educational sources. These will typically come from banks, government organizations, corporations, trade unions, stuff like that. The fourth common myth is that there's a season for scholarships. But in reality, scholarships have deadlines every day of every month. There's always a scholarship available to apply to. It doesn't matter if it's at the beginning or the end of the school year. And the fifth and final myth is that scholarships are only for students in financial need. But that's only a third of the scholarships on ScholarshipsCanada.com. And it's also bursaries that are handed out by schools. So a lot of them you won't even be able to find are financial needs. The requirements for all schools vary, and the majority of them target unique specifications. So remember, scholarships, bursaries, and contests are often not based on marks. There is definitely an award for you. There's more than just schools that award scholarships. The deadlines for scholarships are year-round, and you don't necessarily need to be in financial need for them. There is a scholarship for you, even if it requires a lot of searching. Everyone has one that they can potentially get, but most people have multiple that they can get. I have some quick examples of some unique scholarships you may not have realized would be a thing. So the first one to start out is the Retail as a Career Scholarship Program. Now this is something that I'm sure a lot of people would find interesting because in reality a lot of teenagers grow up working in retail. So this is something that isn't given by a school, it's given by the Retail Council. and it's just for working in retail. So it requires retail work experience and a short essay with no financial need or academic average actually needed. And there's 25 of them worth $1,000. So this is a really, really good opportunity. And you don't necessarily need anything other than retail experience. The next scholarship I have for you is the Andrew Rock Foundation Scholarship. It's a high-value scholarship for Canadian citizens in computer science, engineering, or mathematics. It does require an 85% academic average as well as a leadership role, but it's a very, very good scholarship that I'd recommend if you're going into one of these courses, then you should definitely apply for it. One thing I want to touch on is that with writing an essay or something that's involved around a leadership role, you can actually really stretch that out to be just a specific moment at your job or in school doing a project where you stepped up and you did something that showed you have leadership skills. So when a lot of people, when they see they have to write an essay based on leadership, they think, oh no, well I've never been a manager of something or anything like that. But it's a lot more broad than you'd actually think. Next up is the Saltier Scholarship. It's offered by Robert Gordon University in Scotland. It only requires a reference letter and a scholarship resume. This is a great addition for any North Americans looking to study in Scotland, as they have over 200 scholarships worth $3,500 each. I'm not sure of the specific number of international students that they get, specifically from Canada, but I assume this would basically cover most people who are looking to apply at Robert Gordon University from Canada. Another great one is the $5,000 College Week Live Scholarship giveaway. This one's very, very simple. All you need to do is be a Canadian or American citizen and then register on their website and use their website to search for 5 different schools, and you'll be automatically entered into their contest to win $5,000. So they actually do this every year, and I believe it was a lower dollar amount last year, so it's continually going up. And it's for all years of study, so you're completely able to study, or you're completely able to apply for this all 4 years of school. The next one's a good example of a religious affiliation scholarship, which is the Sikh Foundation. So it's for Canadian Sikh students with high grades and are in need of financial aid. The Sikh Foundation of Canada offers 2 scholarships each year worth $5,000 each. It's a great opportunity if you are Sikh, so definitely apply for it. They're always looking for more applications for it. Scholarships in general may seem like a tough thing to navigate, but that's where ScholarshipsCanada.com comes in. It's easy, and we're here to match you up with scholarships that apply to you. So the first step is to sign up, or if you're on SchoolFinder or Study in Canada, use your login information from either of those sites to log in here. We'll use your profile information to match scholarships to your exact needs as a student. Anything from citizenship to extracurricular interests is covered to help narrow down your search. Be sure to check back often and update your profile to ensure you have the best matches for where you are in life. That includes updating your profile at the end of each school year, because maybe your school offers second-year scholarships for your major in university that you wouldn't have known about in your first year. Once you've started the sign-up process, you'll be prompted to manage your subscriptions. Things like newsletters and emails from schools are affected by these subscriptions. However, a very important one is your scholarship alerts. We send out emails to students twice a month with deadline reminders so you can see your relevant scholarships with their deadlines within the next month, and really streamline the application process for you. So if you've selected that you're interested in biology in British Columbia, then anything related to that has a deadline in the next month will be on this list. So you can quickly just go through and apply to all of them, And it's a really, really useful tool to subscribe to, so that way you never really miss anything. Step 3 is review your matching scholarships. In your profile, you'll be given your short list of scholarships that you're matched to. Depending on how specific you got during profile creation, this can range from a handful to 100 scholarships for you in your list. Go through and save the ones you think are really applicable to you, and delete the ones you may not be able to use. For example, again, if you're a biology student and you don't know your school at the moment, we will offer you all biology scholarships from every school we have in our database. So it's a good idea to really narrow down everything, and if you know specifics, definitely put them into your profile, because that'll make your short list be absolutely perfect for you. Step 4 is apply, obviously. Run through your list and be sure to apply to everything you can. The more, the better. Don't be intimidated by the need of an essay or a resume. These are short pieces that will pay off in the long run. As the essay will be good for anything that needs a scholarship resume. Sorry, the resume will be good for anything that needs a scholarship resume. And most essays that are required are usually pretty short pieces. So the one I showed you before was 500 to 700 words. If it's based on something really simple, like a leadership role, this will be a personal experience, and the 500 words will basically write itself. It should only take about half an hour. So don't, like I said, don't be intimidated. Just apply to everything you possibly can. The final step was mentioned before, which is to be sure to come back and update your profile. Scholarships are fluid and always changing year to year. You'll have many more each year you can apply to. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with our news and events, including future webinars and some big scholarships. We're at facebook.com/ScholarshipsCanada and at ScholarshipsCA on Twitter. And now we'll go into our Q&A session. If you haven't had a chance to ask any questions yet, be sure to now. Someone asked, where is, oh, is that one of you guys talking? So someone asked where University of East London is located within London.
Hi there. So University of East London is located about 20 minutes from Tower Bridge. It's also about 15 minutes away from our financial district, Canary Wharf, and around the same area is the O2, which is one of the big stadiums where they have a lot of concerts and things like that. East London's a great area. It's known for being quite hipster. There's a lot going on. We have quite a few really great areas that are really great for students to be social in. Lots of great bars, restaurants, that kind of thing. So I would say East London at the moment is it's the place to be. And our second campus is also located, so we have two main campuses. There's a Docklands campus, which is on the water. That's the one I was just talking about, which is 15 minutes from Canary Wharf, which is the financial district. And then the second campus, which is our Stratford campus, that's based right next to the Olympic Stadium.
All right. Sounds like a good area.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple questions that I can field. So one of them is, can you take scholarships from a university you don't attend? And the answer to that simply is no, you can't. There are some governing bodies. I believe Alberta and British Columbia, they have scholarships that you can get and apply to anything as long as it's within that province, but you can't take something from one school and use it towards another. Next question is, can I apply for scholarships in grade 10 and 11 or only in grade 12? I'm not actually 100% sure on this one. I believe you can apply using your grade 11 marks, but if you don't keep your marks up, you forfeit it. I'm going to get someone else to field this, though, just to double check me.
I can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be
this
great.
Is Josh. This is Josh from Lakehead. So at Lakehead, we actually do offer, we have a lot of different scholarships. So in some cases, our entrance scholarships are actually offered based on your grade 11 marks. So we have, if you have at least a 90% average in your grade 11 marks, we will guarantee you a $2,500 entrance scholarship. So even if you're even if your marks go below that in the grade 12 level, you are guaranteed a $2,500 entrance scholarship because you did so well in grade 11. Now with the application part of it, you really can, dependent on the scholarship, so if it's an external scholarship from an organization, it's quite possible that you can actually apply it as a grade 10 and hold that scholarship. But in a lot of cases, scholarships do have regulations on them saying that you must be attending university in the next year or you must be a currently registered student. So when you're looking at scholarships, just take a look at what the terms say. And if they say, if there's nothing that says that, I would strongly encourage you to apply it, and it doesn't hurt to kind of have it have the money sit and wait for you until you actually register at university, or potentially use the money beforehand if you do qualify for it and you don't want to save for university.
Okay, so that's a good answer. The next question is for me, which is, can ScholarshipsCanada.com help international students take undergraduate programs in Canada? So specifically us, we don't have a hand in choosing who wins scholarships, but by using our site, we have tons and tons of international student scholarships. Specifically, if you sign up on studyincanada.com, it's all the same database of scholarships. So by all means, sign up there, fill out your profile there, and you'll be matched to all of the international scholarships that would pertain to you. So that's what I would recommend doing. So yeah, we can help you. That actually also answered the next question that just came in, which is for international graduate students. It's the same answer. There are scholarships for everybody. You just need to fill out your profile and you'll definitely get matched with something. And that is actually all of our questions for the night. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us, and specifically our panelists for helping present all of this information to you. Hopefully this helped everyone and you're a little more enthusiastic about applying to all this stuff. And I wish you the best of luck applying, and have a great night. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.